first thing here, again, we're going through 15 best practices right now. And as you're watching this, some of these might be new. Some of these might be a friendly reminder. And if that is the case, if you're seeing some of these things on your screen and you're hearing us talk about them, I want you to take action. This is all about being an action taker right now, my friends. The people that sit on the sidelines are the ones that don't experience success. So I'll start with the first one. We'll kind of go back and forth here. Number one, only keep high performers in your business and your life. This means letting go of business employees, vendors, and personal employees like a nanny or a housekeeper or anybody like that if they aren't fully committed to the vision and the mission. So what we see a lot of times is there will be, and I'm sure you guys, and we've done this too, there will be instances where you've kept somebody on your team because you like them a lot, they're super nice, they like you, and you're just avoiding an awkward conversation about letting them go. And we have to remind you guys, it's not about letting somebody go in the sense that it's this bad thing. Instead, I want you to reframe it as when you let somebody go, you're actually allowing them to pursue their purpose on this planet. You're allowing them to step into a new chapter of life that is not being held down by you. And a lot of times this goes back to the nice guy and the nice girl syndrome that we've talked about in the past. You're just afraid of hurting people's feelings because you have this inherent need to be liked. And that's okay. You're not a bad person for letting somebody go. And they aren't a bad person if they're not a good fit anymore. Oftentimes we see people leveling up and leveling out, and that's okay. But I want to give you a friendly reminder that the people who are in this game to win it, they make sure that their team only has high performers. And that does include the vendors. If you have vendors that are late on deliveries or they're messing up your orders, find a new company. If you have somebody that is supposed to show up and cut your yard and they don't, or they do a bad job, find a new company. Because at the end of the day, when you surround yourself with people that are committed to excellence, your life gets easier. It's pretty awesome. All right, let's go to number 2.
All right. So one thing to just kind of note on that one as you're coming up here on number 2 is also don't be the person that goes, yeah, but this person's really down on their luck right now. I feel bad for them.
One of the fastest ways to get them up on their luck is to put them in an area of strength with a different company.
Yes. All right. So number 2, people on the team are only considered rock stars if their actions prove it. Words and intentions aren't enough. Patterns are the only proof.
Write that one down.
Patterns are the only proof. So let's kind of dissect this a little bit. I really want to have a nice savings nest egg. But your patterns say otherwise. Your patterns say, I like trips to Disney and vacations more than I like savings. I really want to get healthy and be active and fit, and this is what I want to do. But your patterns say, and I'm going to use this one from our pastor, your patterns say you like ice cream more than you like crunches. So we have to make sure that we're paying attention to what our patterns are doing, because our patterns are the proof of where we are actually going, right? So make sure that you are aware of the things that you're doing. Make sure that you're aware of the habits that you're instilling in your life, because rock stars are going to have consistent patterns that they're doing. So how does this show up? I have somebody that says that they want to do it, but they're always late. Their pattern is they're always late. That's not a rock star. Late one time, we have this one-time conversation, and then it never happens again. Patterns of I'm an amazing team member, but I can't seem to ever show up with a shirt that's not wrinkly and smelly.
Or a pattern where a team member says, I want a raise.
Yes.
I want to make more money. And you're like, fantastic. I need you to help us with parents' night outs.
Yep.
I would love your help with some birthday parties.
Yep.
I would love your help with some school events where you can help us promote. I would love your help with, can you show up and be a part of the team for trunk or treat?
Yep.
And then they're like, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. Cool.
Yep.
Well, your pattern says otherwise.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So again, we're taking the feelings out of this, and we're just looking at facts. Patterns are the only proof.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about this one here? Look at those 3 chairs. If I go into your school right now, how many different chairs do you have in your lobby? How many different chairs do you have in your classrooms?
How many of you have a donated bench?
How many of you have a donated old couch with stains?
And it's peeling and the seams are busting open and it smells bad.
How many of you have donated any type of furniture inside of your school? A lot of you do. Please use your best discretion and ask yourself, does this match the aesthetic in my school? Just because it's free does not mean it's for me. Sometimes free causes you to lose money.
Yep. Matt Griffey says, toys and games. That's fine. As long as they're good. Because you can get some janky doll houses too. So make sure we're taking a look at our doll houses and making sure that those things don't look like crack houses.
If your dollhouse looks like it's haunted, politely say no thank you and give it back to the family.
Yes.
So yeah, just make sure that your physical environment is clutter-free.
Yes.
Okay. The random items, they have to go.
Yep.
Anything that's mismatched has to go. So I love saying that there are 3 levels of renovation or improvements to a school. Level 1 is some basic stuff that could either be free or, under $500. Level 2 is usually above $500 but less than $5,000, and level 3 is above $5,000. So a lot of this is great for you guys that are entering into like the end of your first year with us or into the second year. And all of you veteran members, if I go to your school, you better have matching everything.
Yep.
I'm talking to you. So this is a good opportunity to kind of revisit, you're rebounding off of summer camp. You've made some money. Do you need to invest in new chairs? Mm-hmm. Do you need to invest in some new tables that match?
Coach Ann said TVs. I love when the electronics match.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Ann? I could not agree with you more. And the beautiful thing about TVs, they are cheap now.
You could get 3 TVs for under $1,000 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go do it. No excuses.
Hang them on the wall, the exact same height, make it symmetrical and perfect.
They have measuring tape.
I know. Yeah. So funny. All right. Number 4.
Number 4, overwhelm caused from clutter, tardiness, or not being ready will cause the team to not see the owner as a fully intentional leader. So I'm going to say that one again. Your team will not see you as a fully intentional leader when you're allowing the chaos to exist and you're like, it's fine, because it's fine becomes the standard. And that can't happen, right? So it says here, show up as a level 10 leader.
Write that in your notes, level 10 leader.
Yep. You're on time. You're in uniform. You are prepared. And again, let's kind of go back to what we were saying before about the uniform. Don't be throwing it on in your car. And something else that just kind of drives me insane, don't do this, is throw it on top of throw on your shirt or your polo over top of whatever you happen to be wearing that day. It looks like you just decided to throw on something over top and it's not intentional. Everything has to be intentional if they're going to truly see you as that level 10 leader.
Amen. Say it with me, my friends. The way you do one thing
is
how you do all things.
Yes.
And also that spreads to your team.
Yep.
Right? So if they see you as less than a level 10, they show up as less than a level 10. When you look at this photo here on the bottom left, we've got Anthony Splon and Stacy Splon, and they've been in our program for probably 10 years now. It's been forever. We love those guys. One thing that was impressive, we did their diamond visit last year, and Super Chris and I walked in, and just everything is intentional. Everything is intentional. The colors, the banners, the lights, the lobby, their uniform. They're always wearing their uniform. When they show up to their own campus, they have the same standards they hold for their team. They do it to themselves. We were chatting with their director, Coach Juan, and he's just awesome. He is a perfect shining example of how the culture doesn't just start and end with owners.
Yeah.
Like he, as a director, takes ownership in that culture as well. He walks the talk. So if you're right now at your school, if you are at your school right now, are you in proper uniform? Yes or no? Keep in mind, walk-ins still happen. You know, we could be at the school on a Saturday afternoon, you know, cleaning or moving furniture and rearranging stuff and whatever. And all of a sudden, you turn around. Has this happened to you? You're not expecting anybody. But all of a sudden, you turn around and somebody's standing in your lobby and you're like, oh, and it jump scares you. Right? Has that ever happened to you guys where you had a literal unexpected walk-in and you're like, there they are? What is that person's first impression of you? Especially when you're like, hey, I'm the owner of this place and you look like a bum. Come on, guys. All right. So we say it with love, but also with honesty. Okay. Number 5, a healthy downtime set of activities like brain gain, kid cave, and arts and crafts allow for kids to not get burned out from too much physical play. How many of you guys saw that over the summer where you will get these kids, especially the younger ones, that are outside and then they're doing martial arts and then they're coming back in for some indoor games and they're doing all these things. And then by the time that lunchtime rolls around, have you guys ever watched any of those kids start
nodding?
Yeah, they start dozing off, right?
They're good.
Their energy just is zapped, right? Have you guys ever seen that? Type yes in the chat section. So this is one of those friendly reminders of the downtime that's required right when kids arrive to your after-school program. It is okay to give them some chill time. Let them eat their snack. If you're in a state that allows homework, give them 20 or 30 minutes of that homework time. Let them calm down. Let those nerves settle. Then go train and bring them back up.
I want to stick on this, and I know we've got a schedule, and I want to get through everything, but this is really, really important to note, and it's super important that you guys all understand this. And if you're not paying attention because you kind of were tuned out a little bit, please pay attention to this part. When your kids come in from after school, please understand that they have been in a classroom setting all day long. They have been told to sit in a chair, stand in a line, walk in a straight line, don't talk, don't do this, here's all the rules, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Understanding that when a kid gets off of that after-school vehicle and are entering into your after-school campus, please do not have the expectation that they are going to be robots or like little soldiers. They need time to decompress from too much organization. So when they arrive there, give them that freedom to just chill. Don't be, and I'll say this kindly, don't be up their butt about rules, right? You want to set expectations and like, this is going to be fun, but also let them be kids and let them just chill for a second. Don't make them be quiet the whole time. Like, yes, you want to have control over the audible level, but don't make them be silent. They've had to do that all day.
Yeah. Inside voices, my friends. It's easy. It's fun. All right. Number 6.
Yes. Number 6, debriefs are vital for all directors to feel like they have won. We have talked about debriefs until we're blue in the face. And the reason why is because some of y'all are still not doing them. That's why we keep talking about them. The importance of a debrief, okay? At the end of a day, and I'm sure you've experienced this as an owner, you get to the end of the day and you go, I don't know if I did a good job today or not. Well, guess what? Your directors also aren't really sure if they did a good job that day unless they have a literal form that they can fill out and go, actually, yeah, you know what? I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. All right, cool. I can see where I can improve there. All right, I'm going to score this one. I'm going to do like, they get to rank how the day went, which is a ranking on themselves with how they performed as a director. They can look at that and go, I did a good job.
Yep. Pause for a second.
Yes.
Let's think about this. When you hire rock stars, they are a rock star because they like winning.
Yep.
Write that in your notes. Rock stars love winning. If you remove the feedback loop that allows them to know when or when they are not winning, you're removing their motivation. And then they're eventually going to fade out and quit. They're going to work for a company that lifts as they climb. You have to let your coaches, your admin, your drivers, your everybody, your directors, even your business partners, even your spouses, no one is immune to this. We like to know when we win. And we also need to know when we lose so we can fail forward and make those 1% improvements. Daily debriefs are essential. Type yes in the chat section if you do your daily debriefs. This could be a Google form that the employee fills out. This could be a form from your CRM. Either way you do it, it has to get done.
All right, pause for a second on your yeses for a second. I'm going to put a little chat here so I know where the break happens. Okay, pause. So nobody else put yes. This is a question. If you're an owner and you're an acting director, be honest. Type yes if you are still filling out the director debrief form.
You're doing it for yourself.
You're doing it for yourself.
Yes or no?
If you are the owner and you are doing it, I appreciate all of your honesty.
Let's look at the psychology behind this, my friends. As an owner-director, the reason why we want you and you have to do your own daily debriefs is because as you scale and you bring on your first director, you're going to train them at a much more confident level with that assertiveness because you have the experience doing the debrief. You know what it feels like, and you also know that it only takes 2 minutes to fill out.
Yep.
So where we see a lot of people drop the ball as level 10 leaders, which causes them to be level 5 leaders, is they don't create the communication system that is needed for rock stars to be happy. Mm-hmm. So important. All right. So speaking of being organized in communication, number 7, cleaning checklists must be implemented to ensure that the team doesn't have to remember what to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When you walk into any place, especially a place that involves kids or food, if you're a parent, do you want your kid to be in some dirty, nasty place with visible dust, clutter, stuff that doesn't look safe? We went to a school one time, and there was multiple bladed martial art weapons laying in the corner of the room. Pointy, not necessarily live blades, but pointed metal
Sharp
weapons.
Objects.
Blades that could be used for stabbing. Okay. And I went to the owner and I'm like, so is that are you temporarily storing those bladed weapons not in sheaths right there in the corner? Is that temporary? They're like, oh, no, that's where they go. Nope, not anymore. Okay. We have to be aware of our environment. And one of the easiest things that you can commit to and get your team to commit to is cleanliness. If we walk into your school and it's not clean, you don't have a successful business. The fastest way to do this is to delegate by using the cleaning checklists. Mm-hmm. And also train your team on what to clean and how to clean, because at the end of the day, some of them aren't going to do it to your standard. All right. Number 8.
All right. Sorry, I was just going over to the CEO checklist because it is something that actually already exists. Eric Myers and Vince Vannon, who are having a back and forth conversation. All right, number 8, the owner or regional director must do a formal audit at least 2 times per week for the location. Yeah. This just comes down to kind of the basic thing that Dwayne was talking about sharp objects on the corner. Something to just keep in mind. And this is something that everybody needs to be doing, whether you have 1 location or you have 10 locations, it doesn't matter, is you have to have somebody go in with a fresh set of eyes to look at your campus. You have to, because otherwise it's kind of like, I'll use a really, really common example. People will go, man, when I was in my 20s, I was in the best shape of my life. And now I'm in my 40s. And there was 20 years in between. There was 20 years in between. No wonder you made it there, right? It's because it's been incremental little things. You didn't just wake up one day and now you're out of shape. It took 20 years to get there. So with your business, a lot of times you're not going to see every single dust fragment that starts landing on the top of your light switch. But over time, there's going to be a stack that's there, but you've become so jaded and numb to the fact that there is dust that is landing there every single day that you don't even see it anymore.
And then you get jaded to the smell.
To the smell.
Some of your places stink.
Some of them smell like vinegar and feet, and it's not good. It's really not good. So salt and vinegar chips, good. Salt and vinegar feet, not good. So let's make sure that we are staying, keeping the scents aligned.
We get people that'll say, man, this is just extra work. It's extra work to go in and audit stuff. Your words say that you want to be a 7-figure business owner, but your patterns say that you want to be a mom and pop who struggles and who remains in debt and doesn't have retirement. The truth of a location audit, after you do it a few times, it only takes like 10 minutes. Now, if you guys have like a 8,000 square foot facility, it might take you 15 minutes. But essentially, you're running and going from room to room, going through the checklist real quick, and you're just making sure that everything is looking the right way.
Yeah.
And I want to remind you, if you ever have that little voice in your head that's like, oh, this seems like extra work, let me tell you what's harder than that. Struggling every time somebody quits, struggling to get enrollments, wondering why your team always quits after a few months, trying to refill your team, trying to shift money around from account to account because you can't pay your bills on time. That is harder than doing an audit with a checklist we've already made for you twice a week for like 10 or 15 minutes. The other thing that's cool about this is when you guys do it, and I'm curious, how many of you audit your location? Type yes. Lauren's looking at the chat section right now.
I am.
When you guys audit it, you again get to brag to your team. When we walk in and there's a perfect location, like, oh, who posted that video in Platinum? They just posted it. Was it Anthony? Somebody type in the name if you know which one I'm talking about. It was, man, it was like a beautiful location. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful location. Let's see here. Yep. Anthony Cisneros. If you guys put in your notes to look at the video in Platinum that he posted, like, the video is awesome. Everything looks so clean and neat and orderly. Like, I would sign up here in 2 seconds. All my kids would go to his school for sure. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right.
So can I add something to this?
Yep.
Is let's, when it comes to your audits, if you're the owner or regional director and you're the one that's doing it, I challenge you to empower your director to do a campus audit themselves, because they might see something that you didn't see, especially if you're doing them routinely all the time. Maybe change it up and go, here's the list, go and do the campus audit. Because then that'll also kind of put them in check with their role and go, wait a second, I didn't even think to look at that part. So this is just kind of another way of systems of checks and balances.
And who is this important for? Everybody that's scaling.
Everybody.
If your goal is to be a mom and pop and you got like 20 kids and that's all that you want,
don't sweat it.
Just show up and do your thing.
Just smell like vinegar and feet. It's fine.
Just show up and do your thing.
It's fine.
But I invite you to have excellence in all that you do.
Yes.
All right, number 9. Speaking of excellence in all that you do, and this is going to make Coach Amanda really, really happy right now. So one of the things when Coach Amanda does her success calls, and she's such an awesome person to lean in on. So when you have a call scheduled with her, just make sure you get on her calendar. Email newsletters are something that she's discovering that not everybody is doing. All right. So email newsletters must be sent out every Monday. We've had entire trainings on this, so there's plenty of resources on how to do it. Who do we want to send those email newsletters to? Well, of course, you want to send them to your current members. But this is a non-salesy way, that's a good term, write it in your notes, non-salesy way to stay on the radar of your leads. And we know this to be true. Not every parent signs up immediately when they get onto your email list. Not every parent says yes when you have a tour or a phone call with them. But eventually, when they keep seeing the excellence that your brand is providing and how your team is showing up and staying consistent, all of a sudden, when they have little Johnny at the YMCA and he comes home using bad words and talking about bullying, the moment that they start thinking about a different option for summer camp or after school, guess who shows up on the top of their mind? you do. And if you're not on the top of the mind, you'll be at the top of the inbox, guaranteed on Monday, because you're sending out your newsletters. Now, what else can we do? Copy and paste them. Put that email in your group, right? Because not everybody opens emails. If you guys send me an email, I'll probably get to it next year. I just don't check emails that often. I have a team and we have communication set up. Like, people that need to email me probably have my cell phone number, right?
Yep.
But you can copy and paste it, put it in a Facebook group and crush it.
Now listen, we know the truth already, but I'm looking for some honesty. Who's not doing this?
No shame.
No shame.
I want you to pick up some curiosity. We're not picking up shame. We're not picking up guilt. No one's in trouble.
Mark Myers immediately. Me.
But pick up curiosity and go, why are we skipping something that's so foundational and so easy, and not only easy to do, but easy to delegate, right? Your director can easily write a newsletter for that location because your director is on the ground level with those kids. And then boom, send it out. All right, let's go on to number 10.
Number 10, marriage first. Marriage first. Date nights and intentional time are mandatory. So something that, especially for those that are doing this business together, is it's very easy to get stuck in only talking about the business.
How many of you been there? So type yes in the chat. We certainly have.
And then if you're not talking about the business, if you have children, then you're talking about children.
Yep.
And there's nothing else beyond that. Yeah.
What happens is with each dollar that you make is like an extra inch of separation in your marriage. And before you know it, you guys are so far apart that you don't even know who you're married to anymore.
So it's like, great job. You might have like, good bank account numbers, a few extra zeros in there, but your marriage is like, so,
You got 7 figures in that checking account, but you're about to lose half of it. Think about that, right? Divorce is not cheap. So marriage first. And the reason why we bring this up, number one, is because our heart's in it. Like, marriage is so important for us personally. But secondly, we see a spectrum of success in the coaching world. We've worked with hundreds, over 500 or 600 schools in the past 11 years. And the people who tend to do the best are the ones that are married on the same page.
Yep.
If you're not on the same page, you actually end up doing the worst. We see people that are not on the same page, whether they're in the marriage or in the business together or not, right? Because this goes beyond business success.
Yep.
If you're weighed down at home, you show up less than to your business and career.
One thing that I will say is a very, very, very obvious red flag. And it might not seem so obvious to you guys, but I'm going to put this out there. This is from the coaching perspective of a very obvious red flag, whether you're doing the business together or you're doing it separately, is when you use the phrase or you have the thought in your mind, this is her thing or this is his thing. If you're married, I don't care if you work together or not, it is both of your things that you're doing. So stop this whole, like, it's one thing to go, yeah, this is her responsibility or his responsibility. But when you categorize it as its own separate thing that's separate from you, that's separate from each other, big red flag. So never, never, ever, ever have that thought in your head. And if you do, it's time to check yourself.
1,000,000%. We have launched our 90 Days to Unity course, by the way. So if you guys are interested in that with Unchained Marriage, reach out and let us know.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to number 11. Communicating to team members consistently, everybody write that word down, consistently, prevents them from feeling like any activities or events are quote unquote last minute. So how many of you have struggled to get a team to show up to all of your events, right? You're hosting a parents' night out. You're hosting a trunk or treat, a Picks with Santa. You're doing a spring fling with an elementary school, and you felt like it's a little bit of resistance that shouldn't be there, but it is. We've even seen this where people are hosting their own parents' night outs, and it's like none of the coaches want to do it. We call it out because the opposite was true in our culture. We had coaches that wanted to be at the birthday parties and wanted to be at the parents' night outs to the point where we had to turn some of them away because we didn't have enough need for them to be there. And I want you to look at this picture. The girl on the right, she's happy. the owner communicates with her. The guy on the left, he's out of the loop. He feels like
he has no idea what's happening right now.
He doesn't know.
I'm just going to stand here.
He feels like he's just a number. The owner doesn't even know his name. Like, he's just the guy. They're like, who's that coach again? So I want you to make sure that you're investing in the relationship that you have with every person on your team.
Why is everybody giving him a name? That's super sad Sam. That's sad bro Billy.
So that's why we love you guys, by the way. Like, I'm not even looking at the comment section right now. I'm just watching Lauren's face. I love it.
And these are not real people, so we can laugh. These are AI-generated images. They're not real humans. Otherwise, we would be like, no, this is
So in other words, you can laugh at that guy.
You can laugh.
Because he's not even real.
He's not real.
So everybody point and laugh. Okay. Here's the thing.
Coach Bruh.
Yeah. Like, that's the guy that calls out all the time. Anyways, the point that we want to make here, though, and this is so serious, is the more intentional that you are with your calendar as an owner, the more success you're going to have in your life and business. It's as simple as that. That was a huge breakthrough that I had. It's like we oftentimes just kind of plateau and we take for granted a lot of stuff. And it's like the moment that you go, you know what? I want that next level. You have to be so protective of your time. And when you are using your calendar, stuff stops becoming last minute and it becomes first priority. And your team loves that. And if you're a team member that's watching right now and you're in the room with the owners of the company, go ahead and glance over and give them a thumbs up if you like when things are communicated ahead of time and nothing feels rushed, nothing feels crazy, and the stress level is low. Makes it easy and fun.
I wish you could see the comments.
Oh, I'll look. And I'm also talking to my previous self. Like, I used to be last minute on everything. All right, number 12.
Anytime that a 1% improvement is given by a team member during weekly training, it is categorized as now or later. So that means if you're going to implement it, it gets a deadline and you delegate it. So you will have sometimes, if you look at your calendar, right, which you all have a 12-month marketing calendar, right? But then there's also things as far as like 1% improvements that it's not necessarily a fire that needs to be handled right this second, but it still is a good idea. That can go into a now or later. If it's something where it's like, no, this is a major hole that needs to be addressed, that's a now, it gets a deadline, and it gets delegated to somebody. Like, let's get this done. Sometimes that delegation is you, depending on what it is, but oftentimes it's usually a team member.
Yeah, I see a lot of owners that will commit to telling their team that they're going to take action on a renovation, painting the walls, getting a new van, getting the van fixed, things like that. And then they just sometimes don't do it.
Yep.
What you're telling your team is that the foundational stuff's not important. The team's thoughts and opinions aren't that important. And then you wonder why rock stars quit. Rock stars want to what? They want to win. Part of winning is keeping the ball moving forward. And that goes on you as an owner. All right, number 13, every position on the team has specific daily tasks and checklists. We see a lot of mom and pops that they kind of squash together a bunch of positions. So this is going to lead us into number 14 as well. A lot of people squash together positions, and I get it. Sometimes when you're first getting started and you don't have that extra capital to hire a couple people right off the bat, you have to work a couple different positions, even inside of your own company. We did it. It helped us grow without taking out any loans. We were debt-free as a company. Like, we get it. We did it. Mm-hmm. But as you start to build your team, the best and fastest way to allow them to be successful and to increase that retention is to only have them do the tasks and goals that are required for that position.
Yep.
Right? So one of the first people that we always say to hire is an admin. Mm-hmm. Your admin should be by the book.
Yep.
Only doing the things that we teach in the course. And there's a whole module on admin success.
There is. And here's something. So I'm probably going to be talking to nobody on this call, because if you're here, you're actually paying attention. This is probably going to be for somebody that probably won't even watch the replay in full transparency. But I'm going to say it anyways to just kind of, if anything, give you the reminder that you're doing things the right way. Is don't be the school owner that goes, I'm going to take this course, I'm going to hire one person, and then I'm going to go, hey, one person, this is your job, is to do this entire success team coaching system. And then you provide them with zero support, and you have the expectation that they are going to be the admin, the director, they're doing sales, they're doing marketing. Oh, and they're also a coach, and also they're going to be teaching some evening time classes. And then they get mad if it's not working, go, well, it just must be my area. No, bro, it's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
You can't abdicate leadership to one single person and have them try to do this entire system. It does require a team. And a lot of people, and these are people that we intentionally do not renew. Like, if you're that type of person that just wants quick, easy money and you don't care about actually changing lives and building a foundation that's going to rise up, like, we don't want you in this group.
Respectfully.
Okay. And I'm not even going to sugarcoat that.
Nope.
We're here to change kids' lives. And the way that you do it with great success is create a foundation with systems, with an awesome team, with predictable results, and then you keep growing. So when we look at this particular slide and you look at this image here, it's a really cool one because it draws a circle around that person. We're not micromanaging. We're not trapping somebody in. In fact, there's so much freedom when you're playing this game inside of the boundaries or inside of that circle that's created for that position. That's where creativity goes up to the next level.
Yes.
Like, I'll give you a tangible example, my friends. And some of you might have done this, and some of you might be doing it now, and it needs to stop. If you have a director who is answering phones during the after-school program session, that is an example of a director who is now doing an admin task, right? Or if you have a director who every single day, they have their own class of children that they have to be responsible for. Well, now you're taking a director and you're crossing over into the coaching position. When you keep these positions separate, they succeed. It's as simple as that. All right, let's go on to number 15 here. If you look at the bottom left corner, everybody on the count of three say success. 1, 2, 3.
Success.
Success. If you want to be successful, you have to understand that as you scale your business, things and systems should get easier, not harder. This is because systems dictate everyone's actions on the team.